Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out the physical LR Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta. Because of course we did do a showcase on the Vegito yesterday, and he was alright. He was looking pretty good once you fuse into him. And I think it's going to be a kind of similar case with the physical Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta. Because once you fuse with them, instead of damage reduction and counters, they get a lot of dodge and super effective against all types. So they could be pretty good offensively, and if you're getting lucky with dodges, they can definitely look pretty good defensively as well. But unfortunately, their dodge does drop off after a couple turns, similar to how the Vegito's damage reduction drops off. So still kind of a wonky design, but similar to the Vegito, they could still look kind of impressive in certain scenarios. But anyway, before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation, we are going to have 5 out of 7 links, because of course we do get Kamehameha and Legendary Power when we are actually performing a super. And we have some support from the Gohan in slot 3. So start of turn, we are at, alright, 243k defense. So their passive is the exact same as the Int Goku and Vegeta. They get 30% attack and defense on super, and then they have the medium chance to dodge. So that's pretty much all they got going on with them that'll help them out defensively right there. Is the 30% defense on super, and then the dodge chance, which, I mean, I'm going to be saying a lot of the same things about the Vegito, because in base, like I said, they are literally the exact same. You know, the 30% chance to dodge isn't really all that reliable, so I don't really think it's anything like that crazy. Like, you can't just throw them in slot 1 and expect to dodge a lot. I mean, it's definitely possible, right? If you get really lucky, then you can make it happen, but again, 30% just isn't really all that reliable. So our attack stat was kind of good right there. Not the best, but not really the worst either, because we do have a medium chance to crit as well. So definitely, if we're getting crits off, our damage can look pretty impressive. And if we're getting additionals off as well, then our defense is going to look a lot better as well, because then we're getting the 30% defensive raise, because they get that on 12 and 18 key super. And they are physical, so they do have a base 5 additional. So getting some additionals with them are probably going to be just a little bit more common than, like, you know, the Vegito or the Int Goku Vegeta who we did showcase on yesterday. So, I mean, well, actually talking about that, I think you probably should build them full additionals, just because obviously the 30% attack and defense on super, they already have built-in crits in their pre-fused form, in their pre-fused state, and then when they fuse, obviously, I'm pretty sure they have some crits. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, they do have crits when they fuse as well. So giving them crits probably won't really be that beneficial. So I think probably just capitalizing on additionals and maybe just a bit of dodge, because they do still have dodge when they fuse, and, well, even before they fuse, but I think a little bit more probably wouldn't be the worst, because dodging with them is going to be pretty important, because the amount of damage they're going to be taking in a lot of events, you know, it's going to be a lot. But anyway, right here we are at 250k defense. So again, we get the 30% on super attack effect, and then also we have the 30% chance to dodge. So after we super, we're going to be, what, at like almost 400k defense. So I don't know, I mean, almost 400k defense with a 30% chance to dodge, not really all that crazy. Even if we get the double super, I think at most we're going to be pushing like 600k defense, and without any guard or damage reduction or anything like that, you know, that's just not good enough, right? So they're just going to be taking a lot of damage from difficult events, but once again, a pretty solid attack stat considering we have some built-in crits. Unfortunately, we're not really getting the luckiest with that, or with the additionals either. But of course, the additionals are just in their hidden potential system, which not really too sure how the private server I'm using has the physical Super Saiyan Goku Vegeta built. Let me double check really quick. I think probably a mix between additionals and dodge is the way to go. Okay, well, they prioritize additionals, at least that. So we got a pretty good build for them. They should be getting some additional supers, because we got a 40% chance to get that. And definitely, I mean, that's useful, right? Because then, as I said, if you get the double super off, then they'll be chilling around 600k defense, which isn't really the best still. But, I mean, if you have type advantage, you probably could get away with maybe even surviving a super. But, I mean, you'd guaranteed to be able to live normals, right, for most of the enemies in the game. You know, 600k defense with type advantage is a pretty good range to be at. But then once you start getting supered with this guy, it kind of starts to fall apart. I mean, you do still have the chance to dodge, but then obviously a couple of events cancel dodge. I don't want to say a lot. I can only think of a few off the top of my head. But, you know, you just got to be careful where you bring him, because then if you're getting sealed or locked in certain slots as well, that could kind of just ruin your whole fight. Because if you get locked in slot 1, you're just basically dead, right? Unless you're dodging like every attack, then you're just dead because start of turn their defensive stat just is not high enough. And then if you get sealed with them, they do get a lot of defense on super. I mean, you know, it's only 30%, but still, that'll take them from 250k defense to like, you know, 400k. So if you're getting sealed with them, obviously you're gonna be kind of handicapped with them. So I just think it's just wonky bringing them. You kind of have to baby them, and overall, I just feel like there's better options. But if you don't have those better options, then I absolutely get why you'd bring them on the team, or even run him as like a lead, because both the Vegito and the Gogeta, they both have pretty good leader skills. The unit we're showcasing today, the physical Goku Vegeta that fused into Gogeta, he does lead fusion for just 180% across the board. And then obviously the Vegito is Potara for 180% across the board. So pretty solid leader skills, but nothing really too crazy. Once we get, you know, like a 200% across the board to fusion or 200% to Potara, then they'll kind of just be useless in terms of that. But for now, you know, pretty solid. So all right, right here we are at 239k defense. I don't know. I mean, you got to keep in mind, we're going to have most of our links active right here. We've got support, you know, we're rainbowed link level 10 on a 200% leader skill. So we got a lot going for them. In start of turn, they're only at 240k defense. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that impressed with them. I feel like they definitely could have been a lot better. Just because, I mean, okay, well, we got the super right there, but, you know, they're just going to take too much damage, right? That's really the main problem with them. And if you're not getting the dodges off, especially when you fuse into Gogeta, then, you know, it's just going to be kind of rough with them. But, I mean, if you're getting the dodges, I guess they can be pretty useful. The Gogeta definitely can do a lot of damage because, you know, he does get the super effective against all types. And then he gets the, I think, guaranteed crit. And then high chance to dodge for 3 turns from start of turn. And then after that, it drops to a high chance to crit and then a medium chance to evade enemy super attack. So for the first 3 turns, your damage is going to be pretty crazy. Because again, you're super effective against all types. You have the guaranteed crit. And then, you know, also you have the high chance to dodge. So I guess that's benefiting you defensively. So if you're lucky with your coin flips, you might be able to get away with just throwing him in slot 1. But I don't know. We'll have to see what he's looking like when he fuses. And also, you got to keep in mind, the condition to fuse with him, man, it's not easy. You do kind of have to go through hoops. You have to be past turn 6, and you have to be below 50% HP. So really, not the easiest thing to get. It'll be kind of a struggle to get that. But if you do get it, and you haven't already finished the fight, which majority of the time you probably will, I mean, turn 6 is about the turn when you're just kind of wrapping things up, then you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do a lot of damage. And if you get lucky with your dodges, you won't take a lot of damage. But I don't know. I mean, the chances of you getting in that situation are just kind of low. But it's still possible, right? I don't want to undermine that. So, all right, we've kind of showed a good couple rotations of what the physical Goku and Vegeta are looking like. They don't build up or anything, so they're going to be looking the exact same throughout the fight. So we'll just go ahead and cut to when they have their fusion, and, you know, we just play the animation for that. Alright, so we got the fusion off a little earlier in this showcase than the Vegito showcase, so definitely very good there. And we did get the full heal, which is really useful. That can completely turn a fight around for you. You know, just a full heal, so very good there. And then also, he has a lot of things similar to the Vegito. He gets 50% defense on super attack effect, and then he does just have a baseline of 200% attack and defense. Like I said, he's got the full heal. He's got the same 12 key super attack effect. So a lot of similar things, and also he gets 3 key per rainbow key sphere you get. But this guy does get, as I said earlier, a guaranteed crit, a high chance to evade enemies' attack for 3 turns from start of turn. And then after that, it's a high chance to crit, medium chance to evade enemies' attack from the 4th turn. So it does drop off a bit, but still for these first couple turns, he's going to be looking really good. We're going to get 5 rainbow key spheres. So yeah, easily a 24 key super right there. We've got some support from the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. And defensively, we're at 265k defense. So after we get our super attack off, so after the 50% defensive raise, we're going to be, what, a little over 400k defense, I think. And a 7.1 million attack stat, guaranteed crit, and super effective against all types. Not really the worst, actually. Our damage is looking really good. And then, of course, we have the 50% chance to dodge. So around 400k defense with a 50% chance to dodge. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid, right? That's definitely not horrible. especially if you're getting additionals with him, then he could be pushing 600k defense with a 50% chance to dodge, and 50% definitely is very reliable. So for the first 3 turns, once you fuse with him, that's going to be pretty good. And as I already said in the video, once you fuse with him, you're going to be towards the end of the fight. So I don't really think the fact that the guaranteed crit and the high chance to dodge is locked behind the first 3 turns, because by then you'll definitely have finished up the fight. Because then what? That will be like turn 9. So, I mean, yeah, definitely not really the worst thing that it's locked behind 3 turns. I don't think that's really going to be that big of a deal. Okay, we took a lot of damage right there. We'll probably get one more rotation in. You know, we'll nuke with them or whatever on this next one. And then we'll go ahead and cut to the red zone test. I'm thinking about bringing him versus Omega Shenron, just because, of course, he has type advantage. He can dodge in there, so, of course, we can make use out of that and show, you know, just how useful that is. Because, I mean, being able to dodge some of these hard-hitting enemy supers is going to be really useful. Because defensively, he's not really all there in terms of his just raw defensive stat. So having that 50% chance to dodge, it's going to come in clutch. And, you know, you're really going to have to rely on it. Because outside of normals, this guy is just not going to be able to tank whatsoever. And then that's why if you start to not get the dodge off, then he can definitely look pretty unimpressive for you. So it does kind of boil down to RNG. And I feel like when a unit is like just having RNG to determine whether they're good or not, and I know a lot of UI Gokus are like that, but it's a little different because the UI Gokus have like a 70% chance to dodge. So it's very common you're going to be dodging every single attack. But like for this guy, you know, it's like a coin flip, right? Either you're going to look really well or you're not going to look really well. And it being like that just makes it to where the unit typically isn't as fun, because then if you just keep on getting unlucky, you can't run them and they're just not going to be looking good. And of course, nobody wants that. But anyway, on this rotation right here, we've got a lot of attack support, and we are at 227k defense. So we have no defensive support. So that defensive stat is just him by himself. What we'll do is, yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and nuke with him because we got really bad key field luck anyway. Okay. That's pretty good. Can we get some of the STR? Ugh, we couldn't. I swear, every time... okay, I didn't mean to click on that, but every time, I just... Always. Unlucky key sphere luck with the items. Let's go ahead and cut to a better rotation with key spheres, because that was pretty bad. Alright, so here we got a bit better key sphere luck. We're going to get 17. So pretty good there. We got 17 key spheres. We got 50% offensive support from the Bardock. We got the World Tournament Announcer item. And defensively, 227k defense. So not really the craziest, but we still have the guaranteed crit. We are super effective against all types as well. So a lot going for him offensively. And we are at a 17.4 million attacks. That's so pretty crazy considering we got the guaranteed crit. You know, we're super effective against all types. How much damage? 9.6. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Look at that. That was almost half his health. So definitely, I mean, his damage would look impressive, but his defense, well, I'll let the numbers speak for themselves. Yeah, a lot of damage right there. That's what I'm saying, because you can't dodge in this final phase, of course. If we took one more attack right there, we would have died. Yeah, if you can't dodge, this guy defensively is just, he's not going to be it. I mean, the best thing about the 3 anniversary fusions is that once you fuse with them, they are supposed to be really good, but I mean, you know, if you're not dodging, this guy is just not really going to be looking that good. I think that's why a lot of people think the Vegito is better, because you don't have to rely on RNG for him to tank, you know, attacks. You just have the damage reduction, which after you super, you'll be 400k defense plus with a 30% damage reduction, which is really good for tanking normals. That pretty much guarantees you to take double digits from most normal attacks from enemies, right? But then with the Gogeta, you're really just kind of relying on dodge. I mean, look at that. We barely survived that turn. So, not really the best performance right there, because he didn't get his dodge off at all, because obviously this phase of the Legendary Vegeta event cancels dodges. But we can go ahead and cut to the red zone test. He's getting cooked in here. I don't necessarily know how good he's going to be looking in there, but I mean, whatever. Let's find out, right? Alright, so we're here fighting Omega Shenron, and we got some pretty good opening rotations. We got the Goku and Vegeta, the physical one, with the Tech God Goku and Vegeta, so that is kind of our ideal rotation. Fortunately, we did get locked in slot 2. That's alright, because I brought a Sensu Bean. And we got some solid key luck. That's another issue with these guys, is key, man. It really is gonna... They're gonna struggle for key, right? I mean, you're not gonna be easily getting their 18 key off, which is okay, because they have the exact same super attack effect on their 12 and 18 key. But still, I mean, you're gonna want to be doing as much damage as possible, obviously. Okay, 200k from that super right there. I don't know. We have type advantage, so that was just a little bit much. But of course, that was before we supered. And we could have dodged it. We just got unlucky. But, alright, I mean, our damage is pretty good. We got the double super, so if Omega literally, or Sin, I guess, literally would have supered us just, you know, a couple slots after, then we would have gotten both supers off. And we probably would have taken around, what, like 100k? So we would have looked pretty impressive there. Now, the gods do have their guard right here, and we do have the additional as well. So defensively, they're going to be fine, even though they have type disadvantage. But, I don't know, Bardock in slot 3, he might take just a little bit of damage. I did bring some items just in case, like a Ghost Usher. I think I got a Whis as well. So we should be fine. But still, you know, I don't know, a couple options on the team to where they might, or a couple units specifically that might get caught. More specifically, this Bardock. You know, he definitely could take a lot of damage. The Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but I need to make sure I fuse with them. Or transform. I guess they don't really fuse. They just transform into Super Saiyan Blue. Because they have type disadvantage, so they just take so much damage. And this Gogeta, too, I mean, he could take a bit of damage as well if he doesn't get his super off. But I do have the Gammas as a rotation. I mean, you already know how crazy the Gammas are. They're going to just destroy in here, right? They're crazy as a rotation. I think they're probably some of the most funnest units in the game. If you have both of them, then running just their team is just so much fun. Because both of them are really good leader skills. They got some really solid, you know, teams. I think Gamma 2, what does he lead, like 3 categories? So just between the two of them, just crazy and really fun because they're easy to build up with. And when you do build up with them, they become insane. So I think we should kill right here. I think as long as Gamma 2 gets maybe a crit off, then we should be fine. Or maybe one more super after this. Because Gamma 1, you know, he's going to do a lot of damage as well. Oh yeah, we'll be able to easily kill right here. I guess good we're getting Gamma 1 to super. And although it doesn't really matter if Gamma 1 super attacks, because remember, he does build up with every attack he receives. So this doesn't necessarily benefit us that much. But still, I guess it's good we got it in the video, you know, the Gamma 1 super attack. So alright, cool, we are on to the second phase. Now this can be a problem. This is where I would use an item, because the gods lost their guard, and of course, the physical Goku and Vegeta have type disadvantage, because it's STR. And we're at 187k defense, so yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of support. Obviously, I didn't really bring that many support units on the team outside of the Bardock. I mean, Gamma 1 and 2 are support units, but they're on their own rotation, so, you know, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we could get caught. So I think I'm going to play it safe. And I'm probably just going to pop a Ghost Usher because we're just going to die right here, right? I mean, they weren't taking double digits even from the Omega Shenron, or the Sin Shenron in the first phase. I can tell you they're not going to take double digits here. I am going to pop the key item. I forget what it's called, but the one I just used, just so we can get the physical Goku and Vegeta to a 24-key super. We can also get the gods to their 24-key super, because I do want to stack up a bit with both of them. So, alright, 7.4. Yeah, can we crit? Nah, no crit. Alright. So, yeah, if they're not critting, I mean, you know, type disadvantage, they're going to be doing nothing. But I guess that wasn't the worst attacks that, you know, you have the chance to get some additional supers. Even 55%, you can get some additional supers, because, as I said earlier, they do have the base 5 additional, which is pretty useful, right? That can definitely, it can make your defense a lot better. Because if you're double supering with them, that 30% defense twice will get you pretty far. But, alright, so we obviously are not going to kill here. But then on the next rotation, because Gamma 2 got to build up a bit, as long as we get somewhat lucky with our additional supers, we could actually just kill in the next turn. Which is crazy, dude. Because the Gammas, need I say more, you know, they're just crazy. Now, an unfortunate thing, and it was the same, it was just like this in the Vegeta showcase yesterday, is we won't be able to fuse with the Goku and Vegeta for the final phase because the condition is just, it's really harsh. We have to be turn 6 and under 50% HP, so I really doubt we're going to get that during the final phase. So we're just going to have to see how well the pre-fuse state, I guess, is tanking. But okay, what we'll do is we'll throw Gamma 1 in slot 1 because he still has his guard and he does have to build up a bit. And then Gamma 2 will be fine in slot 2 because he's not even taking any attacks. And even if he was, you know, he's got type advantage. So yeah, we'll be fine right here. I don't know why Omega is targeting all of his attacks in slot 1. He did that for the past 2 rotations. So kind of odd there. But all right, Gamma 1 is built up. He is at a... Dude, 11.2 on essentially a defensive unit. I mean, Gamma 1 does have some crits built in, which we just got off right there, by the way. And we weren't fully built up. Keep that in mind as well. But Gamma 1 has the 50% damage reduction, the guard, so I think it's pretty safe saying he's a defensive unit. And he is over a 10 million attack stat with some crits going on in there as well. Just insane. Yeah, okay, we're going to kill right here, right? As long as I get one more super. Yeah, okay, we're going to kill. 11.32. The Gammas, man, I'm just telling you. I didn't want to turn this into the Gamma showcase, but I saw the opportunity to throw them on the team, and I had to take it, right? Because Gammas are just crazy. Gammas are just crazy. They're really fun. And, all right, we got the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta transformation off. Figured I'd throw this guy on the team because, of course, you already know the 5th year anniversary LR EZAs go absolutely crazy. So he's really good. He'll be fine in slot 3 because he has his dodge chance as well. I'm pretty sure we still have the item active, the key item. So I guess that just helps us out there. 233k defense. Yeah, not really the best, but we're easily going to get a 24 key only because of the item. Keep in mind, you know, again, I've said it 3 times at this point, but the item, you know, we have it activated right here. He definitely would not be at a 24 key super without it. So, all right, before we super, 89k damage. That's too much. That's too much type advantage, dude. That is just way too much. How much are we taking after we super, though? As long as we can take, like, I don't know, man. 50k is still a lot. I was going to say, like, 30k. Yeah, I don't think you could run this guy in a lot of red zone events. I mean, I got a comment on my previous video of somebody talking about how they got, like, perfect RNG, and they were able to run this guy in a lot of red zone stages, and it's definitely possible, right? I'll say that. It is possible, but it's just highly unlikely. And I don't recommend you wasting your red zone attempts because keep in mind, only 3 attempts a day by trying to bring someone like this on the team, unless you don't have any other options. If you don't have any other options, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But if you have just better units, then just run them because this guy, he ain't cooking. All right, he just ain't cooking. I mean, if you fuse with him and he's dodging, he can look good, but you have to dodge with him. So I guess we could just keep on playing this out. I mean, you know, it's the physical Goku and Vegeta showcase, but showing off the Gammas a little won't hurt. You know, they're just insane. They've aged perfectly. So if they don't kill, then we're gonna die in slot 3 because we're gonna get supered. But I have faith we're gonna kill. As long as this crits and then Gamma 2 gets a couple of additional supers, then we're gonna be fine. Which that didn't crit, but we did get an additional super with Gamma 1. Okay. And then this has a chance to crit. So if this crits, then we're definitely going to kill. And, you know, Gammas are just going to be on top. Yeah, all right. Yeah, man, dude. What is this? Okay, 9.1. It's actually a little bit of a drop-off. All right. But still, though, you know, Gamma 1 and 2, very crazy. I'm still waiting for the summonable LR Gamma 1 and 2, right? I want a Gamma 2 sacrifice in his life. I feel like that could go crazy. Maybe alongside, I don't know, a Cell Max or something like that. Or maybe a Beast Gohan. We still need a standalone Beast Gohan, right? So I think something like that could be absolutely crazy. I mean, there's so much potential with the Gammas. They still haven't done, right? I mean, as I said, there was the Gamma 2 sacrifice, and there was a couple other moves they just didn't use. So, okay, we are definitely dead right here. We didn't even get to take the super. But with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. All right, here we have Fuse Fighting Force, Super Saiyan Goku Angel, and Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel. So starting off with their leader skill, it is Fusion category Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 180%, or Physical type Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 120%, so pretty solid leader skill. Their super attack effect is the exact same for their 12 and 18 key, except for their 12 key does colossal damage, and then their 18 key obviously does mega colossal damage, and pretty good effect, 30% attack and defense, definitely is very useful. And then their passive is that they get attack and defense plus 180% start of turn, they have a medium chance to crit, a medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super, and then they get 2 key per rainbow key sphere obtained, and then they fuse when conditions are met, and then the condition is that you have to be below 50% HP starting from the 6th turn. And then their links are Kamehameha, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Experienced Fighters, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. And then their categories are Fusion, Joined Forces, Movie Heroes, Super Saiyans, Kamehameha, Otherworld Warriors, Final Trump Card, Pure Saiyans, Connected Hope, Power of Revival, Time Limit, Fuse Fighters, and Bond of Parent and Child. They are on Otherworld Warriors and Connected Hope, which actually kind of need some buffs. So if these guys would have been like a lot better, it would have helped those teams out a lot. But unfortunately, they're not enough to make these teams like really good. But anyway, moving on to their Fuse state, their 12 key stays exactly the same. And their 18 key, instead of the 30% attack and defense, they now get 50% defense for 1 turn. mega colossal damage to enemy, and greatly lowers attack and defense. A really good effect right there, but you're going to be able to make no use out of this whatsoever, because by the time you're getting the fusion off, you're on turn 6, and this is really only going to be useful in Super Battle Road, and in Super Battle Road, you're not going to turn 6. So not really the best thing there, but their passive is that they fully recover HP once only, they get attacks effective against all types, they get attack and defense plus 200% start of turn, they perform a critical hit when attacking, and a high chance of evading enemies' attack, including super, for 3 turns from start of turn, and then they get a high chance to crit and a 30% chance to dodge, starting from the 4th turn, and then now they get 3 key per rainbow key spheres obtained instead of 2. And then I'm pretty sure their links stay the same. No, actually they get Super Saiyan instead, okay. And a couple other links change, but I mean, other than that, that pretty much is the unit. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this guy down in the comments. Let me know how many dupes you have of him, because he's definitely been featured on a lot of banners. He's very beginner friendly, so they aren't scared of putting him on a lot of banners. But yeah, once again, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.